Hey, welcome back to Pop Culture Graveyard. I am Hollis, and today I want to focus on one of my all-time favorite punk bands, Bikini Kill. In thinking about Bikini Kill, I couldn't help but remember something that I mentioned in my Devo episode about the true definition of punk rock, that standing in front of an audience that thinks and looks just like you is not punk rock. Standing in front of an audience that is so threatened by your band's look and its message that they want to physically harm you is punk rock. And by that rationale, Bikini Kill is punk rock AF. Something I'm trying. It's a family show. So please join me for a journey through the music of Bikini Kill. Girls to the front. Guys, for once in your life, be cool. Head to the back. Let's do it. Before I begin, I just want to give a shout out to my latest patron. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. If you'd like to support the show and get a shout out, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/popculturegraveyard. On with the show. Any episode on Bikini Kill has to begin with at least a cursory nod to Riot Grrrl, which was a leaderless feminist movement built on collaboration and empowerment. For the record, I just want to state that being a man, last time I checked, I have no business explaining what the Riot Grrrl movement was, or what the movers and shakers within that scene were trying to say. I simply admire the righteous goals of that revolution and am a big fan of the music that it produced. And there is no band more quintessentially identified with, or important to, the Riot Grrrl movement than Bikini Kill. Unlike with a lot of punk bands, with Bikini Kill, it's pretty much impossible to separate their music from their politics. When you think about the level of violence and oppression that this band had to overcome simply to exist and to perform live, Bikini Kill has more in common with Fela Kuti than they do the Sex Pistols. Bikini Kill features Kathleen Hanna on lead vocals and sometimes bass and sometimes drums, Tobi Vail on drums and occasional lead vocals, Kathi Wilcox on bass and sometimes drums and occasional lead vocals, and Karren on guitar. People like to think that Bikini Kill was Kathleen Hanna's first band, but it was actually her third. Her first band was a part-time band named Amy Carter, which was followed by an actual touring band named Viva Knievel. So she had a bit of a journey to become the phenomenal lead singer that we all know. And that journey started in 1991 on Revolution Girl Style Now. This was equal parts band demo and first official release. It was cassette only to start with, and instead of A and B, one side of the cassette said 6, Bikini, and the other side says 9, Kill. When lead track Candy kicks off, it is sludgy and heavy, reminding you of the band's Washington roots back in the heyday of Nirvana and the Melvins. Holy hell, does Kathleen's voice sound great here. She already has a strong presence to her voice, and Candy announces her as a dynamic new front person. When Kathleen sings, "Don't try and fight me, baby, I'll surround you. You really like it, baby, I want to be your candy," it sounds like a serious threat. A sexy threat, but a threat nonetheless. Daddy's Little Girl, sound-wise, is equal parts Hollywood Babylon by the Misfits and the Munsters theme song. It's a wonderfully swanky, bass-heavy track that makes me want to do the Watusi. The lyrics cut like a knife, especially the lines, "Didn't know I'd have to lose so much for Daddy's love. Didn't know I'd have to lose myself for Daddy's touch." Right here it gets me. This is the first appearance of the song Feels Blind, which would be re-recorded in the future. It's an important, seminal track from the band, and the first truly iconic performance from Kathleen. The lyrics to Feels Blind are among the most brilliant the band ever composed, and that's with the full understanding that this is a highly literate, forward-thinking band. The lyrics state, "What have you taught me? Nothing. Look at what you've taught me. Your world has taught me nothing." And in a world that isn't made for you, where you're taught to be so hungry you'll even eat up hate, you feel blind. It's a powerful song, and Kathleen kills it. Suck My Left One, yes, that is the title, begins with a fantastic sonic scrum, which stops dead on a dime as Kathleen shouts the song's title before the band launches into the proper song. It's a hectic beginning to one of the band's most raucous fuck yous ever, throwing shade at both an abusive father and at a mother who endorses his power. Suck My Left One sees the band tackle domestic terror with strength and attitude. The next song, Carnival, is a top 5 Bikini Kill song for me. This is ostensibly a song about 16-year-old girls giving carnies head for free rides and hits of pot. Tobi absolutely murders her drum kit here. one of her finest performances as a drummer. The song is a pastiche of a trip to the carnival. From cheesy games of chance, summed up in the genius line, "I'll win that motley crew mirror if it fucking kills me," to people watching, such as the girl with the feathered hair, who is wearing plastic, not real leather boots go way up to there. The many different inflections that Kathleen puts on the word carnival is awesome. The first time she goes, "I want to go to the carnival." Hardcore, rugged, and raw. This song is a wonderfully subversive take on an event that most normals see as something happy. As fair-based songs go, Carnival mixes the positivity of Saints by the Breeders with the danger of Rush Home Ruffians by the Smiths. Do you and I think it's a good idea for the song's narrator to give a carny a blowjob for a few hits of pot and a spin on the tilt-a-wheel? No, we do not. But, and this is a big but, it's her body to use as she pleases. And she doesn't have the $16 to get in. And as she says 3 different times, she wants to go. So you do the math. I'm just saying she deserves that Motley Crue mirror. This Is Not a Test is the next song, and I'll tell you something. I don't know if the band ever delivered a message as plain-spokenly brilliant as they do in This Is Not a Test. As evidenced in the line, when you get right down to the heart of the matter, when you get right down to the bottom of it all, you're dumb. I'm not. With all due respect, Don Henley, that's the heart of the fucking matter. This song has a little of the Ramones magic in those lyrics, if you ask me. The music is raucous, but almost buried in the song is a very mumbled but massively important message. You don't make all the rules. I know what I'm gonna fucking do. Me and my girlfriend's gonna push on through. Riot Grrrl is gonna stomp on you. Yeah, the first rule of Riot Grrrl is that you do talk about Riot Grrrl. Side 2 kicks off with Double Dare Ya. The song takes a childhood taunt and turns it into a call to action as a woman dares her girlfriend, and girls everywhere, to stand up for her rights. The song's opening is as iconic as any in music. "Hey girlfriend, got a proposition," goes something like this. "Dare you to do what you want. Dare you to be who you will. Dare you to cry right out loud. You get so emotional, baby." Holy fucking hell. That's how you open a goddamn song. The song is a clarion call, preaching independence. And the clever turn of phrase, "you get so emotional, baby," which is usually something a man says to a woman as a sort of a put down, is here instead offered as an invitation of sorts. You go right ahead. Be emotional. Do what you want. Be who you will. It's brilliant. Double Dare Ya doesn't quite end as much as it bleeds into the next track, Liar. The two were usually performed live back to back in those days, so they simply recreate that here. Liar appears to me to be an attack on rape culture and the perpetuation of lies that men continue to profit from. The center of the song features a perverse left turn in the form of the chorus of the John and Yoko song, Give Peace a Chance, accompanied only by Tobi's wild drumming and some truly terrifying screams, which I can only assume are meant to be a rape victim, underlining the fact that trying to peacefully protest something so heinous is useless. This is where the original cassette stopped, but the re-release on Bikini Kill Records features 3 bonus tracks. The first of these is Ocean Song, which is perhaps their most accomplished song musically that they recorded around this time. It's got some droney guitar and a laid-back rhythm with a very reserved vocal performance by Kathleen, which is pitch perfect for the tone of the song. The music to the song Just Once is slow and sludgy with a Black Sabbath-esque, doom-drenched sound, and when Kathleen slowly yells the lyrics, "You can't kill me because I'm already dead," it's truly chilling. The final track, Playground, is equally slow and sludgy, but shares a lyrical kinship with Double Dare Ya and Liar, as it features juvenile taunts that are actually talking about deeper things. It opens with, "We know the boys wrecked our playground. We built a fort, then they came out and smashed it," which can be taken at more than face value when you consider that Riot Grrrl was constantly under fire, not just from male audience members, but from a male-centric media. My favorite line is, "You're not invited to my party anymore. My mom's calling your mom to tell her I don't like you." Isn't that great? My wife, upon hearing that song, asked me if Kathleen was singing, "You're not invited to my body anymore." I was like, no, but she should be, because that's an awesome lyric. It makes total sense in a Riot Grrrl context. The band doubles down on the child taunting theme musically, as I swear at one point I hear the guitar go, Na 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 na. This is an extremely raw document of who the band were at this time, but already they're a powerful live unit who have an important message to get across and really inventive ways of delivering it. In March of '93, the band released Yeah 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 Yeah. This is on the Kill Rock Stars label with Huggy Bear, who deliver Our Troubled Youth. This side is good as well, but we are here to praise Bikini Kill. White Boy opens with a sexist dweeb talking about how girls are asking for it by acting a certain way, which leads into one of the band's more melodic thrashers. In one simple couplet, the lyrics brilliantly encapsulate the entire thrust of the Riot Grrrl movement. I'm so sorry if I'm alienating some of you. Your whole fucking culture alienates me. Whew, I just got chills. Once you become a fan of Bikini Kill, it's really difficult to listen to most whiny, white male, punk rock lyrics ever the same way again. Dude, you're not oppressed. Your parents just want you to get a haircut. By contrast, these women are fighting for their basic human rights at ear-splitting volume, and that's enthralling. This Is Not a Test was on their demo album as well, but they re-recorded here, and it's a much cleaner version. This song rocks so hard, and Kathleen's Pretty Wails really brings some beautiful melody to this. Don't Need You is a very simple song, not unlike several Ramones songs with the same message, and these women deliver that message every bit as good. I believe Jigsaw Youth is all about women taking ownership of their bodies and shrugging off the definitions that other people try to impose on them. Jigsaw was the name of a zine that Tobi Vail started, and Jigsaw Youth is the name of an essay that Kathleen wrote, which is included in this album's liner notes. The next song, Resist Psychic Death, is one of the two most badass songs on this album. That's badass in all caps. First of all, how great is that title? Second of all, the opening 4 words of Resist Psychic Death are as arresting and succinct as anything Patti Smith ever wrote. Your world, not mine. It's simple, but it says it, and the music underneath it is foreboding and relentless. This is a heavy-duty track. Remember when I said there were 2 badass songs on this album? Well, the next is, of course, Rebel Grrrl. There's a reason they recorded Rebel Grrrl 3 different times. You can never have enough Rebel Grrrl. Nowadays, the song may seem somewhat tame when it's performed in every rock camp, but back in the day, performing this song live was an act of defiance. Kathleen has said that when she performs Rebel Grrrl, she feels like she's putting her cape on, and that's an accurate description. She's a goddamn superhero, and it's a tremendous song. The Riot Grrrl movement needed Rebel Grrrl, the same way the Folkies needed Blowin' in the Wind. It is an iconic song, and if you don't like Rebel Grrrl, you may be a monster? This first version of Rebel Grrrl is not my favorite, but it is deliciously lo-fi and gives a fascinating insight to the early sound of the band. The bass and Kathleen's vocals are way up high in the mix. Good luck overpowering Kathleen's voice, by the way. So this is the first, but by no means the last, appearance of Rebel Grrrl in life and in this episode. The final song, Out of Me, is my favorite track on this album. I used to enjoy spinning it when I'd be out DJing, and it's really Bikini Kill at their most charming. It's a mid-tempo rocker with sing-songy vocals from Kathleen. Most people have the misconception that Bikini Kill were always 10 decibel fury, and they weren't. And I really wish more people knew this song to prove just how many shades they had to their sound. The lyrics, as usual, are stellar. It's about being in love. It's about being in hate. It's about not wanting to miss you. It's about wanting you dead. Bikini Kill's lyrics always keep you off balance, and you're never quite sure what they mean until you listen to the song multiple times. And that's what draws you in, and it makes doing an episode like this really difficult. So I just realized this has been upside down for a while. I don't know how long. I'm not taping it again. I blame Huggy Bear. This album was re-released in 2014 as a straight-up Bikini Kill record. Side A was the same as the original, but Side B, instead of featuring Huggy Bear, features bonus Bikini Kill tracks, such as George Bush's A Pig, I Busted in Your Chevy Window, and Fuck Twin Peaks. In October of 1992, the band released Bikini Kill. This was also on the Kill Rock Stars label, which is Bikini Kill's label for their career. Most of the tracks here were recorded at Inner Ear Studios in DC by Don Zientara and Ian MacKaye from Fugazi. Incidentally, Billy is credited on this album as Billy Boredom, although this record inspires anything but. The band's first proper solo release kicks off with a re-recording of Double Dare Ya. and it's obvious that Kathleen Hanna's voice is an important instrument of the band. The music is both primal and aggressive, so it's up to Kathleen to use her voice in a variety of ways, almost like a Swiss Army knife, to express a variety of colors and emotions that need to be conveyed, and this re-recording of Double Dare Ya is a perfect example. Liar is another re-recorded version of a song off Revolution Girl Style Now. This one is way more forceful, and Kathleen's vocals are better integrated into the mix. The first one was kind of skinny, with her vocals way up high above the instruments. This version of Carnival is exactly the same one from Revolution Girl Style Now. This version of Suck My Left One is a more musically accomplished version than the one on Revolution Girl Style Now, but it doesn't lose any of its shambolic charm. Kathleen's voice really brings wonderful textures to the song, alternating between guttural barks and melodic warbling. When she ends the song with a refrain of the word fine, it's as if delivered by a valley girl, equal parts indignant and resigned to her fate. It's perfect. Feels Blind is also a re-recording from the Revolution debut, but it's a slower, more methodical version than the original. You can understand Kathleen's vocals better here, which I think is one of the reasons why they chose to re-record it. And the guitar is far more forceful here as well. This might be Kathleen's greatest vocal performance, and I don't say that lightly, being that she frequently distinguishes herself vocally. But I don't know, outside of Rebel Girl, if the vocals and lyrics have ever been on as high of an equal playing field as they are here. The final track, Thurston Hearts The Who, was recorded in a live setting in April of 1992 at the Sanctuary Theater in Washington, D.C. And the cover of this album captures the band performing that night. As a matter of fact, the cover of the CD version actually features Kathleen and Tobi during the recording of Thurston Hearts The Who. I'm going to put a link below in the description to them performing Thurston Hearts The Who, because at a certain point you can see a camera flash go off, the person taking this photo, which is pretty cool. The song opens with Kathleen on drums, as Molly Newman from the band Bratmobile begins reading a wrong-headed, male-centric review of a Bikini Kill show that was written for a paper in Honolulu. Its most egregious statement is the typical threatened male grouse about how their girls-only feminism comes across on stage as man-hate. While Molly reads this asinine review, Tobi begins quietly singing these lyrics about how you shouldn't care who a celebrity finds cool, including you. The title references Sonic Youth's Thurston Moore and his love of the British rock band The Who. About halfway through the song, Tobi hops on drums as Kathleen takes over on vocals, with some Scream Queen-worthy shrieking as the band builds to a crescendo, aided by Erica Reinstein on guest screams. And the band finally ends the song when Molly finishes reading. It's one of the most astonishingly spontaneous punk rock moments ever committed to wax. In 1993, the band released Pussy Whipped. This full-length LP is, in my estimation, the band's purest punk rock statement. This is again on Kill Rock Stars. The song Blood One kicks this album off with some high-octane drumming from Tobi, who has always been good. She comes from a family of drummers, but she has become an even more accomplished drummer by now. She kicks ass on the opener. Kathy's bass is still driving most of the songs as usual, and Billy's guitar fuzz fills in the blank spaces nicely. Blood One features what I consider to be Billy's best guitar work with the band, alternating between buzzsaw rhythms and sonic squeals. Kathleen lays the smackdown with authoritative vocals. Blood is 1, hate is 2, 3 is... I'm not going to tell you what 3 is. Suffice it to say, Bikini Kill does not fuck around when it comes to lyrics. This is another song that deals with the power of words and rebelling against being defined by another person's terms. In Alien She, Kathleen addresses something she calls the alien she, which is that part of herself that wants to be a girly girl and fit into the media-driven stereotypes of beauty and femininity. That part of her that wants to go to the mall and put on pretty red lipstick. Alien She is a real motherfucker of a song that finds Kathleen at her most dramatic, with a strong vocal and acting performance, channeling each of her twin personae in the song. She'd like to kill her, but she's afraid she might be killing herself too, given that she is me, I am her. Real motherfucker. The song Magnet is one of my jams on here. It's heavy as hell, in a way most punk rock should be, and so seldom is. You need angry vocals? Check. Incessant driving beat? Check. It's got everything. The titular magnet is an analogy for whoever or whatever is holding the song's subject down. But don't worry, our hero will prevail because she's got the love that's strong and not weak, which kind of sums up Bikini Kill. It's a message of love delivered from a place of strength, and that is very threatening and intimidating to anyone with a narrow worldview. Fuck them. Speed Heart is the only song on the album sung by bassist Kathi Wilcox, and it definitely deserved to have the word speed in its title. Kathi kills it with one of the greatest examples of uncut thrash rock that the Riot Grrrl movement ever produced. If this track doesn't give you whiplash, you're made of stronger stuff than I. The next song, Lil Red, is a scathing indictment of whatever asshole took what he wanted from the song's subject and then just tried to play himself off as the victim. Luckily, the song's subject has already taken ownership of her body and walked away, but this dude seriously needs his eyes scratched out. And this song is the sonic equivalent, with harsh guitars and bludgeoning vocals. Punk rock. Tell Me So is sung by Tobi Vail, and is probably my favorite of all Tobi Vail sung tracks. She really kills it with one of her more confrontational performances. Unlike with Kathleen's voice, you never feel like Tobi's voice is totally under her control, and that's what's so exciting about it. She screams so forcefully, you keep thinking her voice will crack or give out during the song, and it's that tension that is so enthralling. The song's lyrics are fairly cryptic, but seem to be about a female taking ownership of herself and saying you don't get any of me, whether it's the written word or a picture of her, without her getting a prize in return. This song is a total ass kicker, and I highly recommend it. When the song Sugar opens up, it almost sounds like a bizarro version of Rebel Girl, and the track maintains a sinister edge throughout. That said, it's one of the bounciest tracks on here. I can't believe I used the word bouncy either. Get over it. The song concerns a girl giving pleasure to a guy, but not getting it back in return. By the end, the narrator is resolved that she won't play girl to your boy no more. Starbelly Boy calls bullshit on a guy who claims to be different from all the rest, but who ends up wanting exactly what the rest all want. Starbelly Boy is one of the most relentlessly furious moments on this album, and the fury is intoxicating. Hamster Baby is one of the most fun songs on Pussy Whipped. Tobi Vail's vocals are outrageously over the top on this, and exciting as hell. Hamster Baby is a funny take on the day-to-day problems of a rock band with no money going on tour, such as when the band went to play shows in Hawaii. Even in its self-deprecation, it champions self-sufficiency. By the way, the song name-checks Everett True, who was a British music writer who ended up befriending a lot of the Washington-based bands at the time. He's also the one who introduced Kurt Cobain to Courtney Love. Thanks a lot, dude. Up next is Rebel Girl. This is the second recording of Rebel Girl. This one is solid. It's cleaner and more powerful than the first. And this is the one I would play when I was out DJing. As you can probably tell, the beating that the sleeve is taken. On this version, I love the way the vocals are almost buried by the heavy music, with Kathleen shouting to be heard. Kathleen has such a powerful voice that she's finally not able to overpower the music. That said, it's still not my favorite version of Rebel Girl, but it's a big step up from the original recording. Starfish is a very positive, indomitable song, which sees the song's narrator liken her resolve to the regenerative abilities of a starfish that can regrow its legs. The album ends on the track For Tammy Rae. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached my favorite song on this album. It's such a great closer. It's a soft, sweet, beautiful song that seems all the softer and sweeter given the songs that precede it. The Tammy Rae in the song's title refers to Tammy Rae Carland, who not only was the co-founder of the Reco Muse Art Gallery with Kathleen and another woman, Heidi Arbogast, but that trio also formed Kathleen's first band, Amy Carter. When performed live, Kathleen has occasionally dedicated For Tammy Rae to her mother. This is probably because, much like Tammy Rae, Kathleen's mother was an older guiding influence who introduced her to feminism through articles, books, discussions, and by bringing Kathleen to a women's rally in Washington, D.C. when she was just a child. It's a very touching song that ends the album on a very sweet note. The band then released 3 great EPs in between their second and third LPs. In 1993, the band dropped New Radio. Lots of bands put out 3-song 7-inchers. Very few put out any as strong as this one. This release contains the 3rd version of Rebel Girl, and it's the best. I think so. More importantly, Kathleen Hanna thinks so. Produced by Joan Jett, and her longtime producer slash best friend, Kenny Laguna. The songs on this release sugarcoat the band's raw aggression with a whip-smart pop sensibility. The result of this production on Rebel Grrrl makes it sound as if Kathleen is trying to scream her way out of a delicious tuft of cotton candy. And it works. This is no doubt the version of Rebel Grrrl that you've heard in every movie or TV show in which it's been used. The guitar is cleaner because, in addition to the regular band, Joan Jett also plays guitar on this, and she brings her usual delicious sound. The song New Radio is an undeniable rocker that sees Kathleen switch from little girl vocals to angry adult vocals with ease. The song puts everyone on notice that there's a new way that things are going to be done from now on. The final line, "Let's wipe our cum on my parents' bed," is probably the kind of long overdue message that her parents deserved. Demi Rep opens with Joan and the band doing the Mary Mac clapping game, at the end of which they shout "liar," which comes across as a sly rejoinder that the little girl game is actually a falsehood, not unlike the role that the song's subject has to play in her relationship with the trust fund guy. The song returns back to the Mary Mac game for the ending of the song, and we're left with a wonderful moment at the end where we hear Kathleen and Joan talking. Kathleen sounds a little bummed out, like people are laughing at them in the studio, to which Joan replies, "We're having fun." Indomitable. I love rock and roll. In 1995, the band dropped the Anti-Pleasure Dissertation. The song Anti-Pleasure Dissertation is vibrant and poppy, which belies the song's subject matter, which sees a young girl dealing with the fallout of sleeping with a guy who then went and bragged to his fucking friends about it. But processing feelings is never cut and dry, and the ambivalence she's dealing with comes through in the lines, "Maybe I like you, maybe I don't." It features some of Billy's best guitar work, and Tobi absolutely murders it on drums. In 1995, the band released I Like Fucking. I Like Fucking opens with Kathleen using her faux Valley Girl voice, which is always welcome, as she states, "Hey, do you believe there's anything beyond troll guy reality? I do, I do, I do." Hello, lyrics that could have been written yesterday. As usual, with Bikini Kill, the sweet and bitter intermingle, and Kathleen captures the song's meaning best with, "Just 'cause my world, sweet sister, is so fucking goddamn full of rape, does that mean my body must always be a source of pain? No." At the end of the song, the Valley Girl returns to let us know that she believes in the radical possibilities of pleasure, babe. In the slut-shaming times we're living in, this 1995 song is a very refreshing message. In April of 1996, the band released Reject All American. This is their final full-length album on Kill Rock Stars as usual. Full disclosure, this is my favorite Bikini Kill album. I know it's the last one, but this album is a major step up for the band musically. The band are full-on musicians here, and musician is not a dirty word because the songs on here are as punk rock as ever. This album has a much smoother sound, which, much like the Joan Jett produced Rebel Grrrl, really helps the lyrical messages to come across. The album kicks off with Statement of Vindication. The opening lyrics echo the evil queen from Snow White. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" Except in this case, the song's subject really doesn't care. Like, it's not that important at all. The music finds the band rocking out with a sonic blast that is over way too soon. The women are making it clear that they will not conform to a script written by someone else. And it's pretty hard to think of a better opener for this album. The next song, Capri Pants, is a real killer tune. Musically, it shares some DNA with Raw Power by the Stooges, and like that track, it is relentless and driven. Lyrically, the song chronicles Kathleen's ambivalence towards her new romance with Adam Adrock Horowitz, whom she had recently fallen in love with. The lyrics, "Just go away, 'cause I like you, but baby it's all wrong," describe her fear of a backlash from the feminist world she comes from for dating someone whose band's debut album contains some of the most degrading lyrics about women ever. As the documentary The Punk Singer showed, they are actually perfect for each other, and Adam, no doubt with Kathleen's help, has radically evolved since those days. Incidentally, I think it's called Capri Pants because Mary Tyler Moore used to wear them, and she was a good, dutiful wife to Dick Van Dyke on the Dick Van Dyke Show. She stayed home and wore her capri pants and served the two men in her life. It's a really clever title, and I think that's what it's alluding to. Jet Ski is a real anthemic rocker, with the song's subject drawing a line in the sand and refusing to be used by anyone anymore. The chorus, "Ain't got no more candy for you," is killer, And candy is such a great term to encapsulate the laundry list of things this user took from her Visa card to a VCR to her avant-garde postcard idea. I assume the titular jet ski is just one more bit of candy. Kathleen takes on many voices here, young, bratty, angry, authoritative, and she always knows when to use each one. Great fucking song. Distinct Complicity is sung by Tobi Vail, with Kathleen on bass and Kathi on drums. It's one of Tobi's best moments, and is a typically defiant performance from her. It's one of my favorite tracks musically on the album, and it's smart using Billy's guitar so high in the mix. The song seems to be about how women need to rebel against those pathways which have been determined by many to be suitable for them. The song is a reminder that the world belongs to those who conquer hesitation and go out there and do more than just sit on the floor. It might be the most important song Tobi's ever sung. False Start is perhaps the most professional sounding song on this album. Both Kathi and Tobi share vocal duties on this one, and they sound gorgeous. The song alternates between two tones, pretty and light, where you can even make out what sounds like song bells, and quicker and more forceful, and the song almost has a new wave sensibility. It's a really lovely change of pace on the album, and I think it's about waiting for someone who has been holed up in their room all year, I assume dealing with depression, to come back and join life again. The song R.I.P. is a beautifully heartbreaking performance from Kathleen, where you can literally hear the pain in her voice. The song laments the loss of another boy genius who's fucking gone, and how, although the song's narrator is hopeful that he's doing well in heaven, she cannot get over how wrong and unfair the loss is. The song concerns Gene Barnes, who also went by the alter ego Portia Manson. Gene was publisher of the queer porn zine Hippie Dick, and he died in 1995 of AIDS-related meningitis. I am sure wherever he is up in heaven, he's very appreciative of this heartfelt song. The song No Back Rub is an undeniable headbanger with some of the best lyrics on the album. And I quote, "Self-pity, headache, lots of guilt, no sleep. These are the things I give myself." Yet again, using clever wordplay, Bikini Kill speak of the indignities of a woman's lot in life as if they're special treats she allows herself. It's a brilliant way to flip the script, lyrically speaking. If you're not singing along by the time they start the call and response shouts of "loads of execution, say it, loads of execution, say it," the song Bloody Ice Cream does not let the foot off the pedal. The song concerns how every girl who writes is always told about what happened to Sylvia Plath, that essentially to be a girl poet, it means you have to die. First of all, think about why girls might be told this story, and how many women it might have scared away from creating art over the years. The second half of the song is where Kathleen really kicks it up a notch, going into overdrive as she leads us into the outro, which states, "I have another good one for you. We are turning cursive letters into knives." The pen is mightier than the sword is so 19th century. Turning cursive letters into knives? Come on. That's some next level shit right there. For Only is another song sung by Tobi Vail, with Kathleen on bass and Kathi on drums. And it has one of the sweetest sounding openings of any Bikini Kill song. And that easy on the ears tone continues throughout. Do I hear horns? Yes, there is a trumpet on it. Very easy on the ears. I'm not positive, but I believe that this song recalls Tobi's past relationship with Kurt Cobain. The lyrics state, "A certain walk, a certain talk, Forever 23, for only me to see." Tobi and Kurt dated for about 6 months in 1990 when Kurt was 23 years old. Kurt died 2 years before this album came out, and I see this song as a lovely tribute to their brief time together. Tony Randall is one of my favorite songs on this album, and not just because it name-checks two of my favorite TV actors, Tony Randall and Mary Tyler Moore, but because it is a dynamic dose of ear candy. I believe this song is saying how the band don't want to be co-opted by the media and become just another tired picture on your TV screen. The words "I see a punk club, he sees a strip bar" are a perfect encapsulation of how male audience members and male media objectify the band, reducing even their incendiary live performances to critiques of their sex appeal. The song Reject All American isn't just one of the best songs on this album, it's one of the best songs 1996 produced. Apologies to Informer by Snow. This song is a blistering attack on sellout rock stars who manufacture and lip sync overrated bullshit for the masses. I love the line, "gets good grades and plays guitar thinks he's cool, but really is not. The band is rejecting the cliche American rock star lifestyle, alternating the word sports car with mausoleum, which is genius. The final song on the album is the aptly named Finale. Finale is a fantastic album ender. There's a guitar solo towards the end of the song that reminds me, in the best possible way, of the simple guitar solo in Boredom by the Buzzcocks. During that solo, listen to what the bass is doing and the overall sound, and tell me if you can't hear the future sound of Le Tigre in that song. Finale brings the curtain down on a very musically adventurous and professional album by the band. If you enjoy the Bikini Kill albums I mentioned and you want to explore further, I highly recommend Julie Ruin. This is Kathleen's solo album. Kathleen played and recorded this entire album by herself in her room, and there's not another album quite like it. It came out on Kill Rock Stars back in the day. I'm pretty sure you can download it somewhere. This is a masterpiece, and without this, you do not get Le Tigre. If you want to check out another Riot Grrrl band, I recommend Bratmobile. This is Potty Mouth. It is my favorite album by Bratmobile. They do a great cover of Cherry Bomb on here. You can also check out Huggy Bear for some more Riot Grrrl goodness. That was the cool thing about that scene. It was a multi-headed movement. At least one of these bands will speak to you. If you are curious about hearing more about Kathleen Hanna's personal journey, from her art to Bikini Kill, to Julie Ruin, to Le Tigre, to the Julie Ruin, I highly recommend The Punk Singer. She seems not only to be a great artist, but a genuine good person, and this is a great, great document of her life so far. This is a public service announcement. If you really want to do some good for the world, buy some Bikini Kill for the man in your life. Even if he just gets into a few tracks because they really rock, eventually the message in the music will sink in, and that's one to grow on. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next week with a lot more cool stuff.